Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we'll be making this beautiful oversized jumpsuit. That's what we're gonna be making in this video. Thank you so much guys for your support and everything. I see all you do for me. Thank you and God bless you. So you need a crepe material, a very soft fabric for this outfit. That's what you need. So let's dive right into the video. The first thing I did was to measure 4 inches inwards from the edge of my pattern paper. I will measure 4 inches inwards. I will measure it all the way down, then use my straight ruler and connect it. Then after doing that, from that 4 inches, I'll start measuring every other thing. I'll measure my shoulder divide by 2. I'll mark it out. Measure my neck width, which is 3. I will mark it out. Then measure my neck depth. I use 3 also for my neck depth. I'll mark it out. And then I will use my French curve and connect it to my neck, the 2 points together. Then after doing that guys, we will measure our shoulder to waist. I will use 18, which is my normal shoulder to waist, because this is an oversized jumpsuit. There is no joining in the waist, so I will use 18. So I'll just mark it out there. Then after that, I'll measure my armhole. For my armhole, I always use this formula: bust circumference divide by 6 plus 1 plus 1.5. So I'll come down by 1.5 for my shoulder slope and then connect it to my neck width. I'll connect it back. Then from that 4 inches, I'll still measure my shoulder divide by 2. Essence of doing this is to get a straight line. Then after that, from my shoulder, I will measure my armhole again to get a straight line. Then after that, the remaining part of my shoulder, I will divide it by 2. And then from there, I will come in by 0.75. Connect it to my shoulder. Then after doing that, I will measure my shoulder to waist again in order to get a straight line. I'll use my straight ruler and connect it. So from my waistline, I will measure my crotch height. For my crotch height, I didn't use the exact crotch height. I did hip divide by 3, so that because it's a free outfit, so I use hip divide by 3 for it. I'll measure it out. Then I'll use my straight ruler, connect it. While connecting, please extend the line to the 4 inches. Then after doing that, I will measure my waist to hip. For my waist to hip, I use 9 inches. If you are kind of average, you can use 8 inches. Then I'll connect it. Then after that, I will do my bust divide by 4. I will mark it out, then use my French curve and connect it to my neck armhole depth. Then after that, I will measure my waist divide by 4 too. I will mark it out. Then my nipple to nipple, I will bust divide by 6 plus 1 plus 1.5. Divide by 2. I will mark it all the way down and then connect it with my straight ruler. Then after that, I will divide my shoulder slope by 2. Mark that point. And then connect it just as I'm doing in the video. Then after that, I will extend my chest line. Okay, I will take in my dart, sorry. After that, I will take in my dart. I use 0.5 on both sides for my dart. Then from there, I will extend my chest line. That is my armhole line. I will extend it. Then from the waistline, I will come down by 6 inches for my dart leg, and then was 1.5 inches for my bust line. From my armhole line, I came down by 1.5 inches for my bust line. Then from there, I will connect my darts together. I'll just connect the points together. Then after that, I will replace that 0.1 inches I used for my dart. I will add it back to the side so that we are not gonna run into shortage. Then after that, I'll do my hip divide by 4. I will connect the whole points together. So I will use the curvy part of my hip, of my French curve, to connect my waist to hip. Then after that, from my crotch, I use hip divide by 20, and then I'll start from that 4 inches outwards to measure it. I'll measure it out there, hip divide by 20, and then connect it to my hip. I'll connect it to my hip line using my French curve. Then after that, for my knee measurement, I'll do my knee divide by 4. Then whatever I got, I will measure it on both sides of my nipple to nipple line. I will do the same for my ankle. I will measure it on both sides. I will measure whatever I got, ankle divide by 4. Whatever I got, I will measure it on both sides of my nipple to nipple line. Then from there, I will connect the points together. Please, if you are confused here, you can ask me any question on the comment section. I'm gonna see it and attend to it. So after that, I'll use my French curve and connect my crotch to knee line, just as I'm doing in the video. Please look at the way I'm placing my French curve very well. It's very necessary. I will connect the points together. Then after that, I will take in my side dart. For my side dart, I use 1.5 inches, and then I'll connect it to my nipple. Then after doing that, guys, our jumpsuit for the front part of our jumpsuit is ready. I want to like cut the front and the back separate, but they are almost the same, but I want to cut it separate so that you understand it very well. So this is our front. For my back, I will do the same thing I did for the front for my back, but my neck depth for the back will be 1.5. My neck width will still be 3 inches. Then my shoulder slope will be 1 inch. My armhole depth will still be the same formula we use for the front. We're gonna use it for the back. Then I'll still do the same thing to get a straight line. The back and the front is almost the same, just the neck depth and the shoulder slope, which is 1, that is different. So I'll just connect the points together. Then after that, from my shoulder, I will measure my shoulder to waist. While measuring your shoulder to waist, please subtract 1.5 inches for the back. So I will measure my crotch height and connect the whole points together just as we did at the front. Then from there, I'll measure my waist to knee. Remember, you're gonna subtract 1.5 inches. You're gonna subtract 1.5. That 1.5 inches we use for our darts, side darts, you're gonna subtract it on the waistline for the back, because front and back are not the same. So after that, we'll do our back tightening. I'll come in by 0.75 from the on the waistline and then connect it to the upper part and then to our hip. Our back is not straight, it's slopey. So you have to come in by 0.5, 0.5 or 1 inch, just as you want. So after doing that, guys, I will measure my crotch from that 4 inches. I will take in my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 4.1 inch, then connect the points together, then come down by 8 inches to extend my crotch, my armhole line. Still mark my nipple to nipple measurement. I will connect it. Then I will divide my shoulder slope by 2. And then connect it back. Then after that, I will put down my dart intake. I use 0.5 on both sides. And then for my dart, I use 6 inches. Dart leg, I use 6 inches. I will connect the points together. Then after connecting the points, I'll add back the dart intake, which is 1. I'll add it back. Then I'll measure my hip, divide by 4. I will mark it down on my hip line. Then I'll go over to my crotch and still measure the same. Then after that, I'll connect the points together. Please make sure you add back your dart. I will connect the points together. Then after that, for my crotch, back crotch, I'll be using hip divide by 20. I will mark it and then connect it to my hip. Hip divide by 20 for the back crotch. Then my knee line is still the same thing we did at the front. Knee divide by 4. You share it between the nipple points. The same thing for my ankle. And then I will connect the points together. Then our back is ready. I'll cut it out. This is my front and this is my back. Then after that, I will slash it open. I will slash it open. Why slashing? Just do it the way I'm doing right there. You will slash it, removing your darts. You're gonna remove your darts. So after that, I will close my bust dart. I'm gonna close my bust dart just as I'm doing right there in the video. They will just match each other. I will use my masking tape and hold it. Then after that, I'll still slash my line. Then cut it all through to the armhole, just as I'm doing in the video. I'll cut it all through to the armhole. Then after that, I will spread it open by 17 inches. Then after spreading it open, I'll use my pin, hold it, then add half inch all the way to the center front and then connect it straight. Please watch the video very well. Then on the armhole, I'll add half inch and then 1.5 inch on the side. I will add my 1.5 inch. Then from my crotch line, I will connect it straight all the way down. I use 17 to spread it. You can use 15, you can use 10, depending on how free you want it. Then after doing that, from my shoulder, I will measure it straight to make sure that all of them are equal. I will measure it straight using my full length measurement. I will measure it straight all the way around. So I'll just be measuring it. Then this is our front. For my back, I will do the same for my back. So this is it. I still spread it by 17 inches. So this is the sewing. So for my sewing, I was first of all, because I want to use button, I'll first of all fold the back, upper part of my back, fold it in, and then join the zipper side down. So this is the upper part. I folded it in because there will be button there and it will be open. So this is how it will be. So from the part where I sewed, that's where my zip will start all the way down. Then from there, I will join the front and the back together. I will join my front and back together and sew. Then after that, I will shape it with that 1.5 inches I remove. I will shape it all the way down. And then for my turtleneck, you will measure the roundness of your neck. You will measure it all the way round. You will measure it all the way around. So I got like 16 inches. So what I will do is to measure 16 divide by 2, 8. So I have 8 by length and 3 by width on this paper. So from the very beginning, I will measure 1.5 inches for my turtleneck height of my turtleneck. Then after that, I will divide that 8 inches by 2. 8 inches divided by 2 will give me 4. I will mark it out. I will mark it out there and then use my straight ruler to connect it. I'll use my straight ruler to connect it. So I'm trying to use marker so that it will be visible. Then after doing that, guys, from this very beginning, I will measure 1 inch upwards. I'll measure 1 inch. Then from that 1 inch, I will measure my 1.5 inch for my turtleneck height. Then from there, I will connect it to the center part. The essence of doing this is, our neck is not straight, so you don't have to cut cut it straight. So after that, I will connect it just as I'm doing in the video. Then after that, from this upper part, I will go in by 0.25. I'll measure it, then connect it back to the other line as I'm doing in the video. Please watch the video very well. Then this is my front and this is my back. So I'll just cut it out. there is no, please avoid sharp edges while cutting this. So after that, guys, I will bring my fabric, place it on fold. Your fabric is gonna be on fold. Then I will use my pin to hold it together. Then I will cut it using 0.5 inch sewing allowance. So after that, I will just remove it, spread it open, then sew it. I will sew it all round by 0.5. I'll sew it all round by 0.5. Then after sewing it, I'll cut out the excesses, that's sewing inches. I'll cut it out and then flip it open. I will turn it open. Then after turning it open, I'll iron it out. Please make sure you iron. I'll iron it out. Then after ironing it, I will iron it inwards by ½ inch. Mark the center front. I will mark the center of the turtleneck, and then from the back I will start joining it by ½ inch. I'll first of all join with the first part of it as I'm doing in the video. I will join it all the way around. While joining, make sure the center front and center front of the outfit and the center front of the turtleneck, make sure that they meet. So I'll sew it all the way around. You can use your pin to hold it. Then after sewing it, you can see how it is now. So I will now flip it over and top stitch. So this is it. I've top stitched it. So this is it. I'll then put my button and all that. So this is my outfit. Isn't it beautiful? So I'm gonna go and put my zip. So this is my zip. I've put my zip already. So this is it. Isn't it beautiful? Our outfit is ready. Next video is gonna be the sleeve, how I cut the sleeve, because I don't want this video to be too long. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. God bless you all. Please drop your questions in the comment section.